What is good, everyone? Michael Anderson 2 here. We are back with a massive update from Polyphony Digital today on Gran Turismo 7. It is the update 1.13, the big end of April update with a load of a new track layout, some new cars, and a few other things, kind of tweaking all the kind of issues that are going on in the game right now. But let's dive right into it, and this is everything you need to know in update 1.13. Before we get into the video, if you want to leave a like down below, that would be greatly appreciated. Any comments as well on how you think this video has gone would be very much appreciated. If you also want to hit the subscribe button down below with notification bells on, that would be great, and it will let you know when I'm next upload. There should be a lot more Gran Turismo 7 content coming right your way with this massive update this week. So this is the update 1.13 and everything you need to know of what is currently being put into the game for this big massive end of April update. A new update for Gran Turismo 7 has been released. The following list is of the main features and adjustments which have been introduced. So first off, one of the biggest features for this update is the 3 new cars. So the first car that they've listed here is the Subaru BRZ GT300. It's a great car. I'll put some images as well when we're going through these cars of the different cars that have been released, so you should see some nice images of these cars that have been released of what they are, and we'll have a look and see if we can find them in game and see what they see how much they cost in a bit later on in the video. We also got another Subaru BRZ S car as well, both purchasable from the Brand Central location on the Gran Turismo 7 map. We also have a Suzuki Cappuccino, so that's a good coffee. Can't wait to drink that from the used car dealership. Don't know about used coffee, probably not the one you want. Probably don't want used coffee, but we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, with this week coming up, what the car looks like and how much it costs as well. Hopefully, it doesn't cost too much. Fingers crossed, eh? Secondly, we have a new track layout. We have a Spa-Francorchamps 24-hour layout. That's been added. I'll show you a little screenshot of what the track looks like. It's not too different, I don't think. And I think along with this, at the World Circuits location, there's 3 new events been added at Spa. So you've got the European Sunday Cup 500, the Japanese Clubman Cup 550, and the World Touring Car 800. So we'll have a look at that as well, see what the payouts are and stuff like that, just to make sure, just to have a look and see if it's in line with what the kind of like payouts are for the other areas around different world circuits and cups and stuff. But it should be quite good. Yeah, it looks exciting. Some more updates. So we've got in Scapes, we've got the Gasho style houses in Anakura and Cherry Blossoms at Night location have been added to the featured section of Scapes, and a slideshow option has been added to auto demos, which if you're into your Scapes, that's definitely something that you definitely want to see. Other improvements and adjustments. So in the title screen, topic news is now shown in the center of the screen, so all the big interesting, the hot topics right now, basically you'll be able to see them, and it'll be quite easy to see. So that would be good, so that people don't miss out on such crucial content. So I think we will see. If I back out of here, you'll see update 1.13 trailer out now, which is pretty much the main topic news right now, and you can see that's a YouTube video. So if you want to go check that, there'll be a link in my description if you want to see that update trailer to see the new cars and new layout from what Gran Turismo and Polyphony have put out for us. So let's go back to the text here. So in the used car dealership, a new label is now displayed for cars available to buy that day, new cars at least. And the Suzuki is going to be labeled as hot. So that'll be interesting. That'll be quite nice to know. So if you're into your car collection, particularly with the used cars, you'll be able to know which cars have just come in, so that you're not having to try and like remember if you've got this car or not got this car. Having it labeled as new will be able to make it a lot easier for you to be able to identify which cars you want that you don't have already, basically. With the Legend Car dealership, we've got a new stock label that's going to be for, again, with the Legend cars, which are obviously pretty much a lot more expensive, and it's probably a bit easier to see whether these cars are new or not, but having a label makes it a lot easier and a lot more like user efficient, I believe. Onto garage now. Wide body is now displayed on all cars in your garage that have been modified. So if you don't know, if you've forgotten, if you've put a wide body on, say, your Jaguar that about a month or so ago, but you've forgotten, and you go to try and put it on and you're wondering why you can't put it on, having that, it will now say wide body on it, so you won't be confused as to why you can't put a wide body on your car, because it will already have a wide body on it. Also, an engine startup sound now plays when changing cars. So whenever you change to your car, so if you change to your Aston, change to one of the LMP1 cars, or any sort of road car as well, I'm pretty sure the engine startup sound for that car will obviously start up, and that will be quite nice, and it's quite a nice little touch that probably makes it a bit more like immersive in the experience of the cars and stuff, which that's good, isn't it? That's what we like to see. Race screen. So for races with time limits, move the remaining time display to the center of the screen and adjusted the design. So there'll be another video out later on in the week where I'll probably look into some of these stuff. So in race settings and displays, and see how this looks. So make sure you've got those notification bells on down below just to keep you updated of when I release that. Rival cars, so adjusted the driving line of rival cars at the Nürburgring. So clearly at the Nürburgring, the rival cars were either going a bit too slow into corners, or they were taking like quite an odd line that kind of puts us, when we're driving alongside, and put them quite offline, and made it a lot more difficult, and probably made them slower as well. So that will probably mean that some of the cups and some of the other challenges and events that are at the Nürburgring will probably now be a bit harder to complete. So it now seems that going for some events, you can actually just rent cars out, and that probably will mean it won't cost you the same amount as buying the car outright, but you can obviously, like with manufacturers where you sign a contract with say, like I do with Aston Martin, you get those cars for that event, that you keep that car for that specified period of time, and you can use it in whatever you want. So that's for the manufacturer's cup. For this, it seems that event specifically, you can rent a car out, and for that event only, you can use that car. It'll be interesting to see if you can only use it for that event, or if you can use it for all other events. So that'll be interesting to see. We'll have a look at that potentially as well. Videos are now played before the finals of the Nations Cup and Manufacturers Cup. So that's interesting to know. So we'll have a little look when the Nations Cup and the Manufacturers Cup come out, and have a look and see what the videos are. Following information is now displayed in the event screen displayed for each race. So now, rather than having to try and remember what is the kind of like, if there's any sort of requirements or anything like that, we'll now be able to see the tyre wear rate, the fuel consumption rate, temperature, start type, required tyres only displayed. So sometimes we haven't had any events yet that have got required pit stops or tyres. So it could be that we're now starting to see some requirements added to daily races, or Nations Cups or other cups that are coming in. So that'll be interesting to see if they add that in the near future, or for this week at least. So I'll have a look at the daily races later on as well. They've also added a race detail screen. So the following information can be checked from race details icon on the right of the race entry screen. So you've got basic information, qualifying settings, race settings, penalty settings, driving option restrictions, and regulations. So that's just your basic information. If you're interested in all that, you'll be able to see it, and it's a lot easier rather than having to try and remember from like 5 minutes ago when you watched it. It'll just be there on your right. So that's quite handy and quite user friendly. Again, they've made it a lot more user friendly, it seems, for some of this stuff, which is quite good. Going into livery editor, so added a default decal color in editor settings. White or newest color used are now selectable, and by selecting newest color used, the newest color that was last used will be selected. That means it's a lot easier if you want to do different, if you've got different decals and you want to put them all the same color. It makes it a lot easier for you to then just put it on one, and then just go through each decal, and you can put it on so forth. So a lot easier. Again, user friendly. This update seems to be making it a lot user friendly in different areas, which is definitely an area that wasn't like, it's not a main issue, but it's definitely makes it a lot easier and probably makes people more enjoy the game a lot more. Going into replay now, added the option to filter by genre or artist when selecting a music replay song. Not really something that I've delved too much into, the music replays or stuff, but I'm aware of it, and I'm pretty sure that they're quite handy, and I'm sure they're quite nice, and I'm sure the songs fit the track very well. For new replays, it is also now possible to fast forward to the next lap. So that makes it a lot easier. So if you're trying to, if you've done a 10-lap race and you want to go and get a highlight from, say, lap 6, you start it and you can just flip through to lap 6 a lot easier rather than having to skip every 10 seconds to get to the next point. So again, another user-friendly, that seems to be the hot topic with this update. Car settings, fix an issue wherein the name of a setting sheet would disappear. Fix the performance points issue that would occur due to power restrictor adjustment. Interesting. Okay, so this is about all the PP issues that have been going on recently with some cars, and I think this will help with BOP, definitely. Fix an issue wherein performance points would not be added correctly with certain settings or operations were performed. The performance points may not calculate correctly in certain conditions, such as if high grip tyres are added to some cars. Okay, so this clearly is them trying to rectify the BOP that's currently going on, where you have such OP cars such as the Atenza, WRX, RCZs, the likes of those cars, trying to bring them down, how powerful they are, and try and mitigate the their OP-ness, I guess. Car behavior, adjusted the geometry calculations algorithm for the suspension. This has resulted in improved traction for rear-wheel drive cars and lessened reactions to weight transfer. Adjusted the relationship between the controller inputs, analog stick, R2 button, accelerator pedal on the steering wheel controller, and the position of the throttle. There's also some force feedback for wheel users there, if you want to have a look at that. Adjusted the brake pressure control for all 4 brakes when entering a corner. As a result, the braking distance is reduced in general. Okay, so maybe now we'll be able to brake later into corners, which could actually obviously improve lap time and also make it a lot more interesting. And some people have to get used to that. Some people will brake at the normal point, realize that they're braking way too early. Some people will brake later, and they'll actually realize that that's probably the braking point then. So that'd be good to know. The strength of the trigger effect. So this is controller settings, so this is crucial for me. Strength of the trigger effect can now be adjusted from the quick menu displayed during the race, or from settings, controller settings in the pause menu. So trigger effect 1 player and trigger effect 1 player can both be set to off, weak or strong. That might be to do with how strong if you push down, how the strength of the feedback you get in the triggers. That might be what that means. Change the upper limit of the controller steering speed correction from 7 to 10. So if you want to have it more sensitive, you can go right ahead and put it up to 10. So if you want to do that, go ahead. So sound volume, the following 8 options can now be adjusted in the race quick menu. So they've, again, these 2 things have all been made a lot easier. Another user-friendly change here, putting it in the race quick menu, because as far as I was aware, the only way you could change the sound was just in the main options menu and the home screen. So now putting it in the race means that it's a lot easier for you to kind of adjust it. So when you're in race and in races and stuff, you can make it so that you fully get the right sound quality that you require for yourselves. GT Auto, fix an issue wherein it would be possible to perform an oil change on a car that didn't require one. Fixed various issues with the following cars. So the Honda Fit, the car's body colour cannot be applied to some parts on the underside. Okay, fantastic. Willys MB, the interior paint will not be applied when set. Fantastic. We're now actually going to have a coloured. Okay, I'm not going to say that. Honda Civic Type R limited edition. Decal graphic would become distorted when the decal was added in the livery editor. Okay, fantastic. So just another thing, just making it all user friendly and much nicer and looks nicer. And various other issues have been addressed. Perfect. Thank you for your continued support. Continue to enjoy Gran Turismo 7. Of course, they're trying to make it so that it's an enjoyable experience. That's the main takeaway that I've taken from this update. Very much along with the new track layout and World Circuit events and cars, it's very much a user-friendly update, trying to make sure that things are enjoyable for all the players and that they're not getting annoyed at just all the little things. So we're going to have a look at the sport mode and all the daily races and any sort of events that may be in place for this coming week or coming weeks. So we're going to have a look and see what the 3 daily races are for this week. So we seem to have a specified car. All 3 of these are BOP. So we've got 4 laps in race A here. We've got the SR3 SL car. This looks like a very nice car actually. I have not got it myself, so I can rent it. So what does this renting mean? So racing with event cars. So you don't need to buy the cars anymore. So with this renting, you can just enter anything. There's no restrictions. You don't have to buy the car. Obviously, buying the car means that you don't have to, that you can keep it and you can use it for other things. But if you don't want to buy the car because you don't have the credits, although with the circuit experience, you should have plenty of credits to be able to buy cars now. But it seems that you can rent a car and still participate in the race. So that's a very another user friendly. I'm very much reiterating that this video update from Felicity for these daily races. So 4 laps, no fuel, tyre wear to think about. It's grid start, 12 cars, sports hards, BOP though. So a little light on the mechanical damage, but yeah. So it looks like this is just a straight sprint race. 4 laps around Laguna Seca. Very nice track. I like driving around Laguna Seca. Race B is around Autodromo Lago Maggiore, the full course in Group 4 cars. Another 4 laps, nothing to worry about fuel or tyre wear wise. Racing mediums, not racing hard, so a bit more grip, so it'll be a bit quicker. BOP as well, and it should be quite quick. So select cars. So as you go in, you have to select if you want to use your own car or event specified car. I don't know what the event specified car would be actually. I don't really know what that would. We'll have a look at that at some point when we go and do some daily races. I'll be streaming also later on this evening from when you see this video out. So what I'll be going through, checking different these 3 daily races and seeing what the event specified cars are, particularly for these open Group 4 cars. What ones would they give us? So we'll have a look and see. So yeah, make sure my Twitch down in the description below, so make sure you follow me down there, all my other socials as well. So just make sure you follow me there and you'll be able to know when I go live. Yeah, carrying on with these daily races. So that's Autodromo, 4 laps, nothing really to nothing to discuss there other than it's just another sprint race basically. But now we've got an interesting race C. We've moved up from Group 3, we've moved to Group 2 cars. So around the Le Mans 24-hour circuit as well, 5 laps, 5 on the fuel and 5 on the tyre wear. So we could be seeing a pit stop race here. So that's on racing mediums. So there's no change of actual tyre. So it's I think with the racing mediums, you may be looking at, if it's 5 times tyre wear, you may be looking at probably a 1-stop, but around lap 3. That's realistically probably what you need. And depending on the fuel, how aggressively you fuel save or don't fuel save, you may have to add fuel in as well at your pit stop. So, but who knows, if we get to it, we may see some of the top guys doing this with no fuel saving, with all fuel saving and looking after the tires. May end up with no pit stops as well. So it could be one of those where you figure out which one's quicker for you based on the drivers around you. If you push, can you build up a lead that gets you away from your opponents, so you can get a nice pit stop, and then when it come out, you've got fresher tires, so you don't have to worry about saving tires and saving fuel. That could work at some of the lower divisions, but in the higher level divisions, you might have to try and not do anything that's too off the quote unquote meta. So we'll have a look at that this evening as well. So those were the 3 daily races. Let's have a look now at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit and see what the different cups are that you can do. So let's have a look at the new cups and see what the prizes are for these cups, and have a look and see what we can get. So there's no circuit experience for the new 24-hour layout. I also have no idea what the 24-hour layout looks like. So I think this is the GT Cup Group 3 car. This is not the one. We got World Touring Car 800, which is a million credits for finishing first. You get another million for finishing second or third. So that's 2 mil for 60 minutes worth of racing, an hour worth of racing around this 24-hour layout circuit. But that, for 60 minutes, you get 2 million. That's a decent amount of credits, to be fair. Particularly if you can, obviously it's exactly a minute, exactly an hour every time you get 2 mil. If you can get first every time, works out quite well. And then you've got, I think, this Club 550, which just is another one. It's quick. I would say it's quick, but I don't think it would be quick. I think this will take quite a while to do, particularly as these cars are not the fastest. So if you're looking for ones that give you a lot of credits, that touring car one probably is a decent amount. Obviously, it's not lap based; it's time based. But 2 million an hour is a decent amount of credits if you finish first. Apart from that, I think that is everything. So I want to thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to, remember to leave a like and a comment down below of how you think this video went, and let me know if there's anything you want to see from me personally in the future of any sort of content. That would be greatly appreciated. Make sure to also hit the subscribe button and notification bells down below so you're notified when I next upload. Make sure you go to all my socials in the description. I've got Twitter down there. There's Discord if you want to join the Discord. On my Twitch as well, where I stream frequently. I'm going to be streaming a lot more now. I've had a couple of weeks where I've been a bit busy, but from now on should be all good to go in terms of more consistent content for you guys. So if you want to follow me on any of that stuff as well, that would be greatly appreciated. But thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you all in the next video. Later.